Hello guys, welcome back to Car Obsession and welcome to another walk around. So it's been a bit of a mismatch lately. I had the Fiesta ST, then I had the Honda Jazz, which is kind of at the other end of the spectrum, and now I'm joined by the brand new Suzuki Swift Sport. So let's have a look around. Now, as always, let's start off with the outside. Now, I really like the look of the new Swift Sport. I think it looks positively fantastic. Now, following feedback from customers on the last Swift, Suzuki has made the new one more aggressive. They've made sure it looks less like a standard Swift and that it's easier to pick out compared to, well, the standard Swift, of course. And in my opinion, it really has worked. It just looks so in your face and pumped up. It almost looks as if it's trying to break out of its own metal. It's pumped up, it's got bulges, and yeah, like I say, it looks fantastic. As standard, you get 17-inch alloys, which again, I really like. And if we come to the back, you will see two cheeky exhaust pipes, which, if I'm honest, don't really make a fantastic noise. But at least the car looks very sporty indeed. Now, just in case you want your Swift Sport to stand out even more, you can have it in Champion Yellow, which is a homage to the Suzuki Works rally car from the noughties. I'm not a big fan of yellow. In fact, it's my least favourite colour, so I would much rather stick with the speedy blue metallic I've got here. Stupid name, but it's a lovely colour. And it really does sparkle when the sun's out like it is today. So it's an absolutely glorious day in the UK today. So I'm a big fan of the outside styling. Yep, Suzuki, you've done well here. You've got a thumbs up from me. Now, normally I wouldn't be a fan of this kind of faux carbon effect. Let me get it in the sun so you can see it a bit better. You've got this faux carbon effect, which obviously isn't real carbon fibre. Normally I wouldn't be a fan of it. You've also got it here as well, and it's also on the side skirts, which hopefully you can see because I'm standing, well, my shadow is over the side skirt, of course, and you've also got it at the rear. So you've kind of got like a mock rear diffuser thing happening here. Like I say, normally I wouldn't be a fan, but yeah, I do quite like it. I think it looks pretty good. Now let's have a look at the interior, which for me is a bit hit and miss. Right. So you get these lovely sport seats, which are fantastic, and you can barely see them because of the lighting. So let me come around to the passenger side. Hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit better. Move my sunglasses. There we are, that's better. So you get these lovely sport seats, which I'll admit aren't as supportive or quite as comfortable as the Fiesta ST, but they do serve their purpose very well. I would like them to be set maybe a little bit lower, but it's a small criticism. Let me jump in driver's side so I can show you the inside and the infotainment system, of course. Got keyless entry, that comes as standard. Now I will mention the price in due course, and to be honest, it's not as cheap as it used to be. Now obviously every car normally becomes more expensive when a new model comes out, unless it's the new Ford Focus. The new Ford Focus is actually cheaper than the car it replaced, but anyway, that's a different topic. Right, let's close the door because this car park is quite busy today, so I don't want there to be any background noise. So let me turn on the ignition. Okay, so you've got a 7-inch touchscreen, which isn't too bad to use. It's definitely better than the one I had in the Honda Jazz. So, well, in fairness, the Honda Jazz infotainment system was pretty shoddy. So, pretty much most things would be an improvement. But this comes as standard. I've got navigation, smartphone connectivity, Bluetooth, and I've got DAB radio as well. And it all works relatively well. It's not the slickest system you'll ever get, but it works well enough. Let's see, go back to home, DAB radio, and yeah, it's a pretty decent system. I've also got climate control, which on a day like today is most welcome because it is quite warm in the UK, 20 degrees Celsius. In case you're watching in America, if you are watching in America, you'll probably be thinking that's not hot at all. But for us Brits, that's quite a warm day. Now, a few moments ago, I said that the interior was hit and miss. The reason why I say hit and miss because you've got these lovely seats, which I do like. Although on a longer journey, I did find my my upper back and my shoulders did start to ache after a while. Now this car is £17,999. So to make it easier, let's call it 18 grand, and that is quite a lot of money. And because it's that kind of money, I would have wanted a soft touch dashboard. This is hard, scratchy plastic, which, to be honest, I do find it disappointing. I would want there to be softer materials in here. Yeah, you get these nice red splashes to kind of tart it up a little bit, and you've got this sporty steering wheel, which is kind of upside down. Got plenty of red stitching, perforated leather. So, yeah, the inside could be better, but it's not awful. However, yeah, I would have wanted a soft touch dashboard. And down here, hopefully you'll be able to see, guys, but that doesn't exactly scream quality, does it? So for an 18 grand car, I would expect a little bit better, if I'm going to be honest. But other than that, the inside is, yeah, it's a nice enough place to be. Getting a good driving position is easy. The steering wheel adjusts for rake and reach like so. Got a lever down here. And yeah, it adjusts quite nicely. And the seat has also got a good level of adjustment. Right, let's quickly talk you through cubby holes. Got two cup holders in the middle where I normally like to pop the key. Little cubby hole here where I put my smartphone. There we are. You could potentially put something small in there, again like a smartphone, but obviously it'd get in the way of the handbrake. And the door bins are of a decent enough size. I've got my tropical drink in there and a few other bits there. So in regards to specification, I've already mentioned the infotainment system and climate control. You also get adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, autonomous emergency braking. So yeah, you do get a lot of bells and whistles for your money, which is quite impressive. Although there would be some features that I would be quite happy to sacrifice in order to make this car cheaper. So the autonomous emergency braking, I would be quite keen, I could do without that, to be honest, because it's quite panicky. Whenever you approach a parked car or if you're going around a tight corner and there's a bush, it does like to have a bit of a panic attack. So that is a bit annoying. Lane departure warning, again, I wouldn't really want to need it. Lane keep assist, I could go without that. I would keep the adaptive cruise control because I do like the adaptive cruise control, I must admit. Also got front and rear electric windows, which again comes as standard. It may not sound that impressive, but on a Fiesta ST, if you get a 5-door Fiesta ST, that would be an optional extra. So that's worth bearing in mind. Right, let's have a look at space in the back. Let me climb out like so. Into this glorious weather. It's very nice indeed. Right, now just a quick one. This car can only be had in 5-door. So if you want a 3-door model, I'm afraid you will be disappointed. But at least Suzuki tries to disguise the handle into the C-pillar. So from a distance, you can't really tell too much. So I think that's a fair compromise. Let's move my camera slider out of the way. It's too long to go in the boot, so just dump it there. So as always, the seat has been altered for me. I'm 6'2", so I am, of course, a tall guy. But even so, legroom isn't too bad. I won't lie. I haven't got acres, but bearing in mind, this is quite a small car. And yep, I would say that's acceptable. Headroom, again, isn't fantastic, but it's just about enough for someone of my height. So could you fit 2 adults in the back? Yep, you could do. They may not want to go for a long journey, but you can definitely fit adults here. Could you fit 3 adults in here? Probably not, but obviously for children, it'll be absolutely fine. So let's have a look at the boot. Jump out like so, and pop that back, because I know what I'm like. I leave it here and I will forget it. So the Swift Sport has never been known for offering a massive boot, but the new model offers 54 litres more than previously. So that is quite a decent improvement. So what you're looking at, apart from all of my filming stuff, is 265 litres, which is far from gargantuan, but it's a significant improvement on the last model, and it is quite useful. If you need more space, you can of course fold down the 60/40 rear seats, and capacity rises to 579 litres, which again isn't massive, particularly when you compare it to a Fiesta, which, you know, with a Fiesta, when its rear seats are down, you're looking at 1,093 litres, I believe. So yeah, if you're looking to haul a load of luggage in a Swift Sport, or indeed a standard Swift, of course, then you're likely to be disappointed. Right, close it down like so. Just whilst we're talking about size, so the new Swift Sport is 20mm longer wheelbase compared to the old model. Compared to the standard version of this car, it is 40mm wider and 15mm lower. So that's why this car has got a more aggressive stance. It looks like it's hugging the road, and it looks really mean. I like it. It's small, but it's quite mighty. It's up for a scrap. This car kind of reminds me of Scrappy Doo in that instance. Right, let's have a look at the engine. Bonnet released like so. And let's come around. This is for an awkward bit where I need to try and find the bonnet release. And I'm failing. Oh, there we are. Right, this is a bit awkward to do with one hand, so bear with me, guys. God, that's hot. Right. So the previous car used a naturally aspirated 1.6 litre engine. As is the way with most cars, they've downsized and added a turbocharger. So you're now looking at a 1.4 litre turbocharged booster jet petrol engine, which offers a whopping 4 brake horsepower more than the previous model. I know, it's a lot, isn't it? So it's 138 brake horsepower as opposed to 134 brake horsepower in the last car. But where it gets interesting is torque. This car has 70 Newton meters of torque more than previously, so it's packing 230 Newton meters. And believe me, this engine does feel rather punchy. Now on paper, it doesn't look to be overly exciting. So it will hit 62 miles per hour in 8.1 seconds, and it has a top speed of 130 miles per hour. But believe me, guys, it definitely feels faster in real life. It wouldn't surprise me if this car could actually do 62 miles per hour in around 7 seconds. It really wouldn't surprise me. Now, I haven't mentioned the weight of this car. So not only does this car have more torque compared to its predecessor, but it's also a whopping 80 kilograms lighter. To give you some perspective of 80 kilograms, that's pretty much what I weigh, and I'm quite a tall guy. So yeah, that is quite impressive. This car now weighs 975 kilos, which is about the same as a Mazda MX-5, which is really impressive, bearing in mind this car's got 5 doors and 5 seats. In regards to fuel economy, this engine has got a combined figure of 50.4 mpg, and in regards to CO2, it's 125 grams per kilometre, meaning for the first year of VED, you'll pay £165. Right, let's pop the bonnet back down. Again, quite awkward to do with one hand. I'm making a real hash of it. There we go. Right, and pop it down like so. And here we go, guys. The brand new Suzuki Swift Sport. There will of course be a full review coming, so be sure to look out for that. In the meantime, if you have any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. But I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, give it a massive thumbs up. If you are subscribed, don't forget to click that bell icon so you get notified every time I make a video. And if you aren't subscribed, guys, what are you waiting for? Be sure to subscribe for more car obsession.